My name is Sachiko Ishikawa. I'm currently professor of Faculty of International Relations, Ritsumeikan University in Kyoto. My motto is working between the theory and reality, and I believe this is the strength of somebody who is both a practitioner and involved in academic work. And after the concept of human security was proposed in 1994, the deepening of its concept has been done through discussion and practice. Now, through discussion at the Commission of Human Security, the methodology of protection and empowerment was clarified. And for example, the JICA has been involved in the peace process between the Philippine government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, MILF, since 2006, with a ringing endorsement of human security. But sometimes we have to stop and think whether what we are doing really embodied human security. I personally was given the opportunity to participate in a project by the JICA Research Institute to examine JICA's involvement in Mindanao from the academic perspective. And I think I have been able to sort things out to some extent. In the field of peace building, there has been much debate about how development can contribute to human security. 2 decades ago, the idea was that the development should be posed before conflict tension reach their peak and resumed after a peace agreement was concluded. This was partly to ensure the security of development workers, but I think there was also an implicit agreement that the development assistance could not contribute to a situation in conflict. However, this has changed dramatically since Madame Sachiko Ogata became the JICA's president in 2003, and the concept of human security became one of the 3 pillars of JICA. I remember what Ibrahim Murad, the head of MILF, said that time. He said that MILF was fighting to improve the lives of the Moro people. This did not preclude development assistance, which share the same objective. Later, even when peace negotiations were suspended, JICA made a decision to remain in Mindanao from the perspective of people-centered assistance. From the very beginning, Japanese assistance to Mindanao was focused on human security, and I believe this ultimately led to the 3D, actually, diplomacy, defense, and development, and aid structure. That 3D structure working in response to freedom from fear and freedom from want is something that I attempted to verify in my own paper in the project that preceded this new book project. When the peace process was going back and forth, I was personally immersed in consolidation of peace seminar in Mindanao. That was a track 1.5 peace mediation activity that aimed to connect those involved in the peace negotiation with those in communities who would be the most affected by the content of the peace agreement. Measuring the human security impact of development project is difficult because it cannot be measured quantitatively. But by picking up as many voices and stories from the field as possible, we can clarify the contour of the impact. The answer to this question is that it depends on the occasion. And in the context of human security, it is very much context specific. For example, I can say from my experience and research that during the Mindanao peace process, when the JICA dispatched staff to the IMT, International Monitoring Team, they were temporarily registered with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and worked at the Embassy of Japan in the Philippines as secretaries. And then they were dispatched to the IMT. This brought together three different actors, namely JICA, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and IMT, making 3D cooperation possible. In the case of cooperation with the Mindanao peace process, the opposite concept was also true. The lack of deep cooperation with other donors contributed to JICA's freedom in decision making. This was 2008, when the Memorandum of Agreement on Ancestral Domain was ruled unconstitutional by the Philippine Supreme Court. Peace negotiations were suspended, and the security situation worsened. Because of that, other donors suspended their aid to Mindanao. But JICA, which had been developing its own aid without funding in the joint donor basket, made a decision to remain Mindanao. As a result, we believe that the decision contributed to some extent to freedom from fear and want by staying with the people. This is a question that is linked to the SDGs slogan of "No one is left behind." But it is a difficult question that is easy to say than done. The case studies in the empowerment project verify that urban poor, elderly people, essential workers, and women are often left out of top-down protection during emergencies such as the COVID-19 pandemic. It is, of course, necessary for governments that provide protection to pay special attention to vulnerable communities in the split of SDGs, but it is also necessary for local and village authorities, for example, and CSOs that are in the proximity to these communities and groups to become catalysts of protection and to create conditions that will bring the empowerment of the vulnerable communities.